My name is Taneeka Hill. I am the Fostering Prevention Program Manager. We serve Jackson County, Wyandotte County, and Johnson County. Fostering Prevention, it is a supportive service for families whose children are at risk of entering into the foster care system. I like to think of it as a lifeline for families who need assistance with navigation. There has been a lot of research behind the trauma that separating families can cause on children, and so Fostering Prevention was designed in an effort to safely keep families intact and keep the children in the home with their parents as long as we can maintain safety within that home. So what does that look like for us? Well, that looks like a team of individuals that are going in and working with the family, walking alongside of that family. We walk alongside that family for an entire year. With that, we're assessing where are the barriers, like what has happened that got that family to where we are right now. That could be underemployment, that can be unemployment, it can be mental health, it could be domestic violence, a slew of different barriers that could potentially be contributing to how that family got to where they are. Our services is a lifeline to help that family, number one, assess those barriers, and then number two, wrap that family in services that will help that family get through those barriers, to sustain that family in the efforts to keep the kids in the home and keep the families together. So from the very beginning, we have a couple of different assessments that we use. One is a PSOC, which is basically assessing the parents, where the parents feel their strengths are in their parenting, and then where they also feel like, hey, these are my challenges. So it's actually going to give us an idea of their satisfaction as a parent and then their competence as a parent. We also do what's called an AAPI. It has like 5 constructs that we kind of assess, and we take that assessment, and where they score high is where we do our curriculum from for our nurturing parenting. Parent, for the most part, they already know where their challenges are, and the AAPI just solidifies where they already thought their challenges were. I think what led to the program is a recognition of a gap that needed to be filled. So I say it was a mastermind behind the project who saw the gap and said, hey, I wonder if there's a way that we can keep these families together by simply putting together a program that can help. And so Fostering Prevention was born. We went from just 2 specialists when we began to now I have a team of 4. And so it's growing, and now we're covering much more area geographically, to ensure that we have Wyandotte County, Johnson County, and Jackson County, which is huge in itself, and then we're still growing. We're not just fostering prevention specialists, we're life coaches, we're educators, Sometimes we are just a listening ear, for moms that have the world has just beat them down and they don't know where to go. And so that's where our team comes in. And we're there to help. We give them that lifeline. We say, hey, it's okay. Dust yourself off, let's try again, And so we make sure that we empower our families and let them know that they are not defeated just because we're in this situation. We can move from it, even if it's just one small goal at a time, one step at a time. I just had a mom just share with me recently, she just got her associate's degree. she decided to go back to school and she wants to be a social worker. And so she sent me an invitation to her graduation to get her associates. And so I was so honored, you know, and she was like, I wouldn't have been able to get here if it wasn't for you. You know, she was in a situation where she felt judged, where she felt that there was no out for her and she didn't have an ally. And so going into that home and helping turn things around, you know, for that mom, for her to see from her perspective what she could have been contributing to the situation, as well as what other environmental things could have been contributing to the situation, and how can we maintain to pull ourselves out of it and just change the perspective. To grow, to go fostering prevention, grow. Because we do have also a wait list, you know, of individuals that are trying to get on, you know, with our services. And so I can see us growing with adding more specialists as well as adding more counties, so that we're covering even more rural counties that are out there. It's for the sake of the kids. It's the knowledge of what could potentially occur once that family is divided. There is a place for foster care, but that's after we can't safely maintain those kids in the home. So there's also a place for prevention services.